Few events capture New York's spirit like the Subway Series. It's a tradition that pulses through the veins of the city, uniting and dividing millions in equal measure. The anticipation begins long before the first pitch, as fans pour into the stadiums, their hearts pounding with hope and nerves. The city's energy shifts, and you can feel it in the air, on the subway platforms, in the corner delis, and in the conversations echoing through the streets. For one night, New York becomes a battleground, and every New Yorker is a participant, whether they're in the stands or watching from home. It's more than a game, it's a citywide rivalry, a battle for bragging rights that divides families and neighborhoods. Friends become rivals, siblings sit on opposite sides of the living room, and even co-workers trade playful jabs in the days leading up to the game. The Subway Series is woven into the fabric of New York life, a tradition that brings out the city's competitive spirit and unites it in a shared love of baseball. When the Yankees and Mets meet, the city pulses with anticipation, every fan choosing a side. The skyline itself seems to lean in, watching as the drama unfolds. The buzz is everywhere, on the radio, in the news, and in the excited chatter of fans who have waited all year for this moment. The stakes feel higher, the lights shine brighter, and every play is magnified by the weight of city pride. This year, both teams were desperate for a spark, their seasons teetering after early promise. Injuries, slumps, and tough losses had left both squads searching for momentum. The Subway Series offered a chance for redemption, a way to reignite their seasons and give their fans something to believe in. The pressure was palpable, and every player knew what was at stake. Citi Field buzzed with energy, fans in pinstripes and blue and orange filling every seat, their excitement a deafening roar. The stadium was alive with chants, songs, and the rhythmic clapping of thousands. Every seat was filled, every aisle packed, as the city's baseball faithful came together to witness history. The atmosphere was electric, charged with the hopes and dreams of two fan bases hungry for victory. Every pitch felt magnified, every moment loaded with meaning. The tension was thick enough to cut with a knife, as each batter stepped to the plate with the weight of the city on their shoulders. The crowd gasped at every near miss, erupted at every hit, and groaned at every strikeout. In these moments, baseball becomes more than a sport. It becomes a test of nerves, a showcase of heart. The Subway Series forges legends and exposes flaws. Tonight would be no different. Heroes are made in the blink of an eye, and mistakes are remembered for years. The pressure cooker of New York baseball reveals who can rise to the occasion and who will falter under the bright lights. This wasn't just another game, it was a test of character, a chance to claim New York. For the players, it was an opportunity to etch their names into city lore. For the fans, it was a night to remember, a story to tell for generations. The pride of New York was on the line, and everyone in the stadium felt the weight of that responsibility. As the first pitch flew, a new chapter in this storied rivalry began. The crowd's roar echoed into the night, signaling the start of another unforgettable battle for New York. In this city, baseball is more than a pastime. It's a passion, a tradition, and tonight, it was everything. The Yankees wasted absolutely no time making their presence felt in the opening moments of this heated rivalry. From the very first pitch, their energy was electric, their focus razor-sharp. The team seemed determined to set the tone, and the atmosphere in the stadium was thick with anticipation. Fans in pinstripes were on their feet, sensing something special was about to unfold. Jason Dominguez, the young phenom, stepped up to the plate and delivered a thunderous home run that sent shockwaves through the crowd. The crack of the bat echoed across the Bronx, and as the ball soared over the fence, the stadium erupted in a frenzy. Dominguez's confidence was palpable. He rounded the bases with a swagger that belied his age, igniting his teammates and fans alike. It was a statement swing, one that instantly put the Mets on their heels and set the tone for what was to come. Before Mets fans could even process what had happened, Aaron Judge strode to the plate with his trademark calm. On the very next at-bat, Judge unleashed a towering shot of his own, sending the ball deep into the night sky. The Yankees had gone back-to-back, 2 home runs in as many batters, and just like that, they had seized a 2-run lead within minutes. The Mets infield stood stunned, while Yankees fans roared with delight, realizing they were witnessing something special. The Yankees dugout erupted in celebration, players leaping to their feet, high-fiving, and shouting encouragement. The energy was contagious, spreading through the entire team. It was more than just a fast start, it was a declaration of intent. The Yankees were here not just to play, but to dominate, and they wanted everyone in the stadium to know it. For rookie Mets pitcher Justin Hagenman, it was a harsh and unforgiving introduction to the big leagues. Facing the Yankees in a packed stadium is daunting enough, but giving up back-to-back home runs in your debut is a nightmare scenario. Hagenman tried to compose himself on the mound, but the weight of the moment was clear. The pressure was immense, and the realization that he was up against one of baseball's most dangerous lineups had set in. The mood in the stadium shifted dramatically. What began as a night filled with hope and excitement for Mets fans quickly turned to anxiety and disbelief. The home crowd, once buzzing with anticipation, was suddenly silenced, their cheers replaced by nervous glances and quiet murmurs. The Yankees had taken the air out of the building, and the tension was palpable. The Yankees had landed a haymaker before the Mets could even swing. Their early barrage was more than just a scoring outburst. It was a psychological blow, a reminder of the power and depth of their lineup. The Mets looked rattled, searching for answers as the Yankees continued to celebrate. As the Mets regrouped on the mound, their manager tried to rally the troops, urging them to shake off the early setback. But the question now loomed large over Citi Field. Could the Mets recover from this early blow? Or had the Yankees already seized control of the night? The battle lines were drawn, and the game had only just begun. The Mets needed an answer, and Juan Soto delivered. In a moment when the energy in Citi Field felt tense and uncertain, the pressure was palpable. The Yankees had just seized the lead, and the Mets faithful were searching for a spark, a sign that their team would not back down. All eyes turned to Soto, the newest star in the lineup, as he made his way to the plate. With a runner on, Soto stepped up, the crowd's hope resting on his shoulders. The stadium buzzed with anticipation, every fan on the edge of their seat, knowing that this at-bat could change the course of the game. The pitcher stared him down, determined to keep the momentum on the Yankees' side, but Soto's focus never wavered. Calm and focused, he waited for his pitch, then unleashed a swing that sent the ball rocketing into the right field seats. The crack of the bat echoed through the stadium, a sound every baseball fan lives for. The ball soared high and deep, carrying the hopes of thousands with it as the crowd collectively held its breath. Citi Field erupted. Soto's home run tied the game, erasing the Yankees' early lead in a single electrifying moment. The stands shook with the roar of the crowd, and the Mets dugout exploded with excitement. It was more than just a home run, it was a statement, a message to the Yankees and to the city that the Mets were here to fight. The momentum swung instantly. Despair turned to elation. Fans who had been biting their nails moments before were now on their feet, high-fiving strangers and waving rally towels. The energy in the ballpark was electric, the kind of atmosphere that makes baseball in New York so special. Soto's fist pump around the bases was a declaration. The Mets would not be intimidated. His confidence was contagious, and as he rounded third, he pointed to the dugout, igniting his teammates even further. It was a moment that would be replayed on highlight reels for days to come. Manager Carlos Mendoza summed it up. "They punch, we punch back. Here we are." His words echoed the fighting spirit of the team, a reminder that this rivalry is never one-sided. The Mets had answered the call, and the message was clear. This was going to be a battle to the very end. Soto's blast reignited the team and the fans. The dugout was alive with energy, players feeding off the crowd's enthusiasm, and the fans feeding off the team's resilience. It was a perfect storm of passion and determination, the kind of moment that defines a season. The battle for New York was officially on. Every pitch, every swing, every play would matter from here on out. The rivalry between the Mets and Yankees had reached a fever pitch, and neither side was willing to give an inch. The game was new again, the rivalry alive. Both teams reset, knowing that the next few innings would be a test of nerves, skill, and heart. The scoreboard showed a tie, but the intensity on the field and in the stands was anything but even. The city braced for a classic. As the lights of New York shone down on Citi Field, everyone knew they were witnessing something special. A game that would be remembered, a rivalry renewed, and a hero's moment that brought a city together. Soto's night was just beginning. In the third, he ripped a double into the gap, his second extra base hit. Later, he added a sharp single, nearly hitting for the cycle. Even his outs were loud, scorching the ball every time up. Soto's presence energized the Mets lineup, his confidence contagious. He was relentless, making life miserable for Yankees pitchers. Teammate Jeff McNeil said it best. Every time he comes up, you expect something special. This was the superstar the Mets had invested in, a game-changer on the biggest stage. Soto wasn't just hitting, he was carrying his team. His performance was a masterclass in clutch hitting. The Citi Field crowd's journey mirrored the game's drama. Early silence gave way to wild celebration after Soto's home run. The fans found their voice, turning the stadium into a cauldron of noise. Every pitch to a Yankee was met with thunderous boos, every Mets success with deafening cheers. Chants of "Soto, Soto" echoed, the crowd feeding off his energy. The fans became part of the action, their passion fueling the comeback. Citi Field transformed into a fortress, intimidating the visitors. The home field advantage was real, and it mattered. Thanks to Soto, the crowd was now the Mets' secret weapon. With the game tied in the 7th, the Mets needed a hero. Pete Alonso worked a gritty walk, setting the stage for Jeff McNeil. McNeil, known for contact, delivered power, launching a 2-run homer into the right field corner. Citi Field exploded. The Mets had their first lead. McNeil's clutch blast was the culmination of the comeback. The dugout erupted, the momentum now fully with the Mets. The comeback was complete, and the Mets were in control. After the final out, the Mets clubhouse was pure joy. Juan Soto, ever humble, credited his process and the team. "I'm just trying to help us win." Manager Carlos Mendoza praised Soto's immediate answer. "He got the momentum right back on our side." Jeff McNeil deflected praise, calling Soto's night just who he is. The team was galvanized, united by their star's performance. The win felt bigger than a single game. It was a statement. The Mets had proven their resilience and belief. The clubhouse buzzed with confidence for the road ahead. This was a team ready for more. Soto's heroics capped a stunning personal turnaround. Early struggles gave way to a torrid June, batting .348 with 10 homers, earning NL Player of the Month. His plate discipline and power returned, silencing doubters and lifting his season to MVP levels. Against the Yankees, he proved he could thrive under New York's brightest lights. Soto's resurgence transformed the Mets' offense and justified their massive investment. This win was more than a victory. It was a turning point for the Mets season. Overcoming an early deficit against their rivals showed heart and resilience. For the Yankees, it was a painful reminder of their struggles. But the night belonged to Juan Soto, who delivered when it mattered most. He inspired his teammates, electrified the crowd, and cemented his place as a Mets icon. This was the night Soto truly arrived in New York. The comeback was complete, the city claimed. In the battle for New York, a new king was crowned.